Hey everyone, welcome back with Bean-O Mac. Today we are back at it again with another Aki comparison. We've compared Aki games to games released at the same time from competing developers, and Aki games featuring different wrestling promotions. This week will be more of a look at the evolution of the N64 series as a whole. This week, get strapped in because we are going to compare Aki's first outing on the N64, WCW vs nWo World Tour, and their final installment in their licensed wrestling catalog, WWF No Mercy. Alright, to start off as usual, let's take a look at the release dates. WCW vs nWo World Tour was released on December 2nd, 1997, with a sales total reported to be around 1.3 million, making it the best-selling N64 wrestling game at the time and number 2 overall. WWF No Mercy, however, altogether sold around 1.2 million in America. World Tour didn't really have any competition at the time, and WCW isn't known for having good games really other than those Aki titles. Other than WCW Mayhem, which most who played can only really say that it had some potential to be an okay game at best. With No Mercy, this was released at the very end of the N64's lifetime and had serious competition with the likes of the Smackdown series at the time. With the picture hopefully painted though, let's get into what each game had to offer. Since both games are based off of the legendary Aki Corporation grapple system, let's get into what evolved between both games and how big that jump really looks. So in World Tour we have weak and strong grapples with the following options. Once in a grapple, you can press A up, A down, B up, or B down. And if you have a special, flicking the analog stick while in a strong grapple initiates your finisher. WWF has 4 extra front-facing grapple moves, with the ability to use the side buttons on the D-pad as well. Trio Woe is possible in No Mercy by pressing the Z button while in a corner grapple. Well, in a front or back grapple state in No Mercy, you drag your victim to where you want and you can swing your enemies around to change which direction you are facing at will. In No Mercy, you can take weapons in and out of the ring with the option to run with them. Also, when you drop a weapon, it doesn't disappear into the floor, with the option of throwing a weapon at an enemy for being an extra attack. Even small details like running into the ring from the outside or steps and an announce table at ringside make the feeling of No Mercy more realistic. The last gameplay feature added is the running grapple. So while these features may seem small, overall these are big details that show the evolution of a series that keeps on improving from game to game. Both of these rosters are based off of different wrestling companies and are only 3 years apart. World Tour has a roster total of 42, not bad especially for the time. No Mercy features 61 unique characters, with the total being 74 when you add in the superstars that are only featured in alternate attires. Each game offers 4 attire choices for each wrestler slot. World Tour, despite being a World Championship Wrestling game, only half the roster features actual talent from the organization. You have 13 representing WCW, while 9 are repping the New World Order. 3 fictional promotions have been added that feature real Japanese wrestlers that have fake names and likenesses. First is Dead or Alive with 10, the Independent Union features 9 wrestlers, and finally an additional 2 for the Whole World Wrestling Federation, including Muhammad Ali. No Mercy features exclusively World Wrestling Federation contracted talent and orders them from the main eventers on Superstar 1 to the lower mid-carders in Superstars 5. Then you have sections devoted to divas and 2 for hidden wrestlers. Both featured massive stars of wrestling then and now, with WCW having Lex Luger, Sting, The Giant/Big Show, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, The Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, Diamond Dallas Page, the Steiner Brothers, and more. No Mercy took place in the later years of the Attitude Era, so of course they had superstars like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Kurt Angle, Triple H, The Undertaker, Kane, Mick Foley, the Hardy Boys, Team 3D, Edge and Christian, and more. Even though there was a small time gap, they even have quite a bit of overlap in the rosters. For example, Sean Waltman, who was 6 in WCW, and X-Pac in the WWF, was featured in both games with different gimmicks. Other notable examples include Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and even the Giant was set to be included in No Mercy, but was cut due to weight issues. These games were made during the Monday Night Wars that was considered the peak of the wrestling business as a whole, with the greatest wrestlers of all time. The rosters are just as legendary as the folks involved. The rosters are filled with legends making their names at the time, and even future main eventers just waiting for their time in the spotlight. In World Tour, we get League Challenge mode, a basic arcade-like game mode of defeating one wrestler after the other until you get a shot at the belt you chose to go after. You can choose from any of the 4 promotions. WCW and Dead or Alive have 3 belts, being the heavyweight class world title, tag team, and cruiserweight class options. Then for the nWo and the Independent Union, we have 2 options for a singles belt and a tag team championship. Once you complete all single titles, you unlock the heavyweight and cruiserweight belt options for the whole World Wrestling promotion. In the WWF path, you take on anyone from every promotion before your title shot. Once again, it's as basic as it gets, but it isn't the worst time. I think what works against League Challenge is the length of time for some paths. You also have to save in the options menu, or else you wasted your time, because if you forget, all your progress is lost for that session. WWF No Mercy continues to chase for the title, but they are all based off the 7 titles available in the WWF at the time. There are branching paths for each belt, with each chapter telling a story on your way to ultimately winning the title chosen. The World Heavyweight and Tag Team Championship options have 10 chapters to complete, while the lower card belts, like the Women's, has 5 chapters. This is the main way to earn money to spend at the in-game Smackdown Mall. Winning or losing will change the storyline unless given specific tasks to complete for that chapter, which means there is no changing the story for that specific chapter. The game encourages repeat playthroughs and keeps track of all the paths and progress you've completed. There are also additional paths available when you win a title and defend it through championship mode. Die-hard fans of wrestling games state that No Mercy's championship mode is the cream of the crop when it comes to these single-player campaigns and games, but let me know what y'all think about it down below. World Tour, sadly, there are no create or edit options. You can change the controls if you'd like in the options, but that's about it. In WWF No Mercy, we have a few options here. We can create up to 18 unique wrestlers. There are so many clothing options available to start, and more you can buy in the shop. Movesets, fighting styles, damage meters, and rivals are options to sculpt your ultimate creations. Also available is the option to edit pre-existing wrestlers' attires. Some may scoff at these options, but they were all we needed at the time to have a good time in wrestling games. Other than the exhibition mode, these games both have a lot of ways to play. World Tour has an additional tournament mode that features single elimination rules. Another tournament style is the League mode. Not to be confused with the League Challenge, this mode is a round-robin style tournament. Each competitor involved faces one another with wins equaling out to 3 points, a draw nets both competitors 1 point each, and a loss results in 0 points. The one with the most points at the end wins, but if one competitor is dominating, there is a mercy rule that will end the tournament early if no one has any chance of overlapping their points. Finally, if 2 competitors tie, they face off in a final match to decide the true victor. The final side mode is WCW vs nWo, which is a 5-on-5 elimination style team battle. You can pick up to 5 WCW wrestlers and then 5 nWo fighters, and one after the other comes one-on-one matches. The loser is eliminated and the winner must face the enemy in line until all of but one team participants are eliminated. Draws result in both parties being eliminated and moving on to the next set of wrestlers. No Mercy offers a massive gauntlet mode called Survival. You choose any superstar, including the option to pick one of your custom characters, and then try and outlast 100 other wrestlers in a battle royal style matchup. You get more Smackdown dollars for every opponent you eliminate. This is possible by pinfall, submission, total knockout, and ring out, with the outcome of your fall resulting in how much you get paid for it. Winning and eliminating all 100 gets you the $1 million bonus. If you haven't unlocked a wrestler, chances are you can unlock them here by surviving long enough to beat them yourself in this mode when they show up. Finally is the Smackdown mode. Here you can use money made from Championship and Survival to buy outfits, tattoos, moves, wrestlers, arenas, props, and even weapons. Both games offer a wide variety of different options when it comes to side modes, but in very different ways. Within 3 years, we have seen a massive amount of growth from game to game. I didn't even mention the graphics, but they are here for all to see. These are the same games at their core, but when you see just how much the company was able to expand upon in just 3 years, you grow a deep appreciation for what we had back then and even now. Games have always evolved at a rapid-fire pace, but with modern gaming, it seems like it's beginning to come to a standstill almost. While these games may look primitive at first glance, I can promise you that the heart, soul, and love poured into each of these games more than makes up for the graphical quality, and once you play a match or two, you will be hooked. But for now, the trip down memory lane is gonna have to be put on hold as this video is at its end. If you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe for daily content. Aki content every Sunday, so please ring the bell to be notified of more comparisons, playthroughs, reviews, and more. Feel free to check out some secrets hidden in these games and comment what you love about the Aki games, or if you haven't played any, what might interest you the most about these games. Above all else though, please remember to have a nice day. But for now, the trip down memory